Welcome to the 2023 Child Care Food Program Annual Workshop. The Child and Adult Care Food Program, CCFP, is a federal program that provides reimbursements for nutritious meals and snacks to eligible children and adults who are enrolled for care at participating child care centers, daycare homes, and adult daycare centers. CCFP also provides reimbursements for meals served to children and youth participating in after-school care programs, children residing in emergency shelters, and adults over the age of 60 or living with a disability and enrolled in daycare facilities. CCFP contributes to the wellness, healthy growth, and development of young children and adults in the United States. Topics that will be discussed in this workshop will be meal pattern, crediting as equivalents for grains, meal counts, meal times and spacing, record keeping requirements, claim submission and review procedure, reimbursement system monitoring, visits, provider's own children, license capacity, planned menu, civil rights. Please make sure to take the short quiz after watching this video. First, we will discuss the meal pattern for infant participation. All infants in the daycare home must be enrolled. Parents or guardians need to be notified that an iron-fortified infant formula is offered at no charge. Parent or guardian can decline the provider's formula by signing a decline form provided by the sponsor. Parents or guardians may provide only one component for a reimbursable meal. Example: parent provide breast milk. Providers must provide remaining components. Crediting grains as ounce equivalent effective October 1, 2021, grains served as part of reimbursable meals and snacks must be credited as ounce equivalent in the Child Care Food Program. CCFP operators must ensure that they are offering the minimum required serving size of creditable grains in ounce equivalent for each age group for each meal and snack served. Resources can be found in the links provided below. Please keep meal pattern where it can be easily seen to view how much each infant should be served according to their age. Infant cereals and ready-to-eat cereals must be iron-fortified. Ready-to-eat cereals must contain no more than 6 grams of sugar per dry ounce. All grains served must be enriched, fortified, or whole grain rich. The chart shows how much grain each infant should be served. Meal pattern for children. 1% or fat-free unflavored milk must be served to all children 2 years of age and older. Whole unflavored milk is served to children 1 year of age. 2% milk is not a credible milk. Please do not give 2% milk to any age child. Fruit juices are not a credible component. Switching immediately from whole milk to low-fat or fat-free milk when a child turns 2 years old may be challenging. The USDA allows 24 to 25-month-olds a 1-month transition period. Grains. Limit meat/meat substitutions for the entire grain component on the breakfast menu to no more than 3 times per week. Grain-based desserts, not reimbursable. Donuts, cereal bars, breakfast bars, granola bars, sweet rolls, toaster pastries, cake, brownies, a whole grain rich, must be served once a day and must be 100% whole grain. Labels that say 6 grams of whole grain, 8 grams of whole grain are not 100% whole grain and therefore not a credible whole grain. The USDA CCFP requires that at least 1 serving of grain contain a whole grain-rich component. Grains that meet the whole grain-rich component are grains that contain at least 50% whole grain and the remaining grain in the foods that are enriched, or 100% whole grain. How to identify a whole grain-rich item? 1. Food is labeled 100% whole wheat and meets the FDA's standard of identity. 2. If the product is found on any state agency's WIC list. Three, FDA statement. Diets rich in whole grain foods and other plant foods and low in fat, saturated fat, and cholesterol may reduce the risk of heart disease and some cancers. Diets rich in whole grain foods and other plant foods, and low in saturated fat and cholesterol, may help reduce the risk of heart disease. 4. Rule of 3. The first ingredient must be whole grain, and the next 2 grain ingredients must be whole grains, enriched grains, bran, or germ. Five. Food meets the whole grain-rich criteria under the National School Lunch Program. 6. Proper documentation from a manufacturer or standardized recipe can demonstrate that whole grains are the primary grain ingredient by weight. Using ounce equivalents for grains. Grains are an important part of meals in the child care food program. To make sure children get enough grains at meals and snack, required amounts for the grain components are listed in the meal pattern as ounce equivalents. Ounce equivalents tell you the amount of grain in a portion of food. There are 3 ways to determine how much of an item you need to serve at meals and snack. All worksheets can be found in the websites provided. When serving yogurts, the requirement for yogurt must contain no more than 23 grams of sugar per 6 ounces. Make sure to keep containers until the end of the day or have a photocopy posted on the refrigerator. If the yogurt is on the Women, Infants, and Children (WIC) authorized food list shopping guide, the yogurt meets the sugar level. When serving breakfast cereals, breakfast cereals must contain no more than 6 grams of sugar per dry ounce. Keep food package label ingredient list nutrition facts label of all cereals being served. If the breakfast cereal is on the Women, Infants, and Children (WIC) authorized food list shopping guide, the cereal meets the sugar level. TOFU. Tofu is a reimbursable meat/meat alternative component. Must be commercially prepared. Easily recognizable as a meat substitute, tofu chunks in a stir-fry. Contains at least 5 grams of protein per 2.2 ounces, equivalent to a quarter cup. Meat and meat alternatives. Processed meat and meat alternates such as fish sticks and chicken nuggets must have ACN label or APFS, product formulation statement, signed by the manufacturer, which verifies the product's contribution to the meal pattern requirements. Asterisk please make sure to submit CN label or PFS if processed food are being used to KFAM. Try not to throw labels away until the end of the day. Photocopy labels and post it on the refrigerator. Take a picture of any labels on a smartphone. Attached is a copy of the new meal pattern for children. Please keep in a visible area to make sure each child is receiving the minimum quantity. Please remember to serve 3 credible components for breakfast, all 5 credible components for lunch and dinner, and any 2 credible components for snack. Food portions and components must meet the CCFP requirements. All children must be served/offered the same food unless they have a written statement by parent or physician. All components must be served together. Serve the food components separately to ensure portion sizes and components meet the CCFP requirement. Avoid mixed foods i.e. vegetable soup. Meal counts. Only claim children who have received a meal/snack. Take caution when clicking each child's name in KidCare. Meal counts and menus must be posted by 10 p.m. daily. Meals recorded before the meal is served will be disallowed. Daily meal worksheet must be done only when there is technical issues notified by Minute Menu and turned in the morning after. Print extra daily meal worksheet by clicking Reports, Worksheet Daily Meal Worksheet run in KidCare. Meal count and spacing. When scheduling your meal times, breakfast time must be served before 8:45 a.m., lunch can be served between 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and dinner can be served between 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Spacing of major meals, breakfast to lunch and lunch to dinner must have a 3-hour gap from beginning of meal to meal. Spacing of major meal and snack, breakfast to AM snack to lunch, lunch to PM snack to dinner must have a 2-hour gap from beginning of meal to snack or snack to meal. Providers must serve meals as scheduled. Serving earlier without any notice, meal will be disallowed if meal times change. Inform KFAM staff as soon as possible. All changes need to be made to CDE, California Department of Education. Record keeping and requirements. Providers must have a copy of each child's enrollment form. All children in daycare must be enrolled. Claimed food and attendance can be saved or printed after claim is submitted to KFAM each month. Copy of the current license fee payment, copy of permanent agreement between a sponsor and a daycare home provider, copy of monitoring visit report, print from KidCare. Medical forms for any children, decline forms for children in the daycare not participating in the food program, nutrition fact labels for cereals, yogurt, whole grain. All records must be kept 3 years plus current year. Claim submission and review procedure. Providers must submit their monthly claim online using KidCare before the 3rd of each month for timely filing. Documents such as CIF enrollment forms must be submitted to KFAM CCFP office by the 3rd of each month. CCFP staff works on online claims received and other documents according to the policy and regulation. Received claims will be submitted to by due date. Error report with current month CIF will be mailed out to each provider. Reimbursement system. KFAM submits claims to CDSS each month on or before the due date according to the annual contract. CDSS has 45 days or longer to work and process claims sent by KFAM. Once KFAM receives the reimbursement check from the state, our finance manager deposits the check from the state and starts preparing reimbursement checks for each provider. KFAM must send out reimbursement checks within 5 working days from the receipt of the reimbursement check from the state. Please be patient. Monitoring visits. 3 unannounced monitoring visits will be done each year. Monitoring visits are done during the provider's hours of operation. Monitor will observe 1. Safety, children and food. 2. Appropriate portions and/or quality of meals. 3. Record keeping is up to date. 4. Capacity of license, providers must stay within their licensed capacity. 5. CN label, yogurt, milk, cereal, and whole grain block claims. A block claim is defined as a claim for reimbursement on which the number of meals claimed for one or more meal types is identical for 15 consecutive days within a claiming period. Milk, 1% or fat-free, to children 2 years old and older. The public health emergency, PHE, due to the end of the public health emergency, on-site monitoring will start as of July 1, 2023. Providers' own children. Provider's own children refers to any children who reside in the household, such as the provider's own children by birth or adoption, grandchildren, or housemates' children, who are part of the economic unit meal. To the provider's own children may only be reimbursed if the following three conditions exist. The provider's children must be enrolled and be participating in the child care program during the time of the meal service. Other enrolled non-resident children must be present and participating in the same meal service. The daycare home sponsor has a current, less than 12 months old, eligibility document on file for establishing income or categorical eligibility for the provider's household or foster child, REN. Meal Benefit Form. Tier 2 providers do not qualify to claim their own children. Child must be enrolled as not participating in the food program and a decline form must be submitted. License capacity. Please remember to stay within your license capacity. If you are not sure of your license capacity, please check with your licensing specialist. The next few slides will show what your capacity of children can be according to your license. This is the license capacity for 6 children. License capacity for 8 children. License capacity for 12 children. And license capacity for 14 children. October renewal. All enrollment forms expire September 30th of each year. Any new child enrolled in the month of September, enrollment form expires September 30th. Example, child enrolls September 6th. This enrollment form will expire September 30th and a new enrollment form dated October 1st will be required. All renewed enrollment forms must be submitted by October 5, 2021, to receive October reimbursement on time. KFAM will send copies before October 1st of each month. Any new child enrolled after copies are sent, provider is responsible to print from KidCare and submit the original to KFAM. KFAM is not responsible for any unsubmitted renewal forms. Asterisk, make sure to keep a copy of all enrollment forms before submitting the original to KFAM. Not home policy. If provider and children are not present at day care without notice, all meals for the day will be disallowed. Monitor will revisit. Provider must notify agency when day care is closed and/or mark closed for business on KidCare calendar. If provider has an assistant must be trained regarding the food program. Assistants must know meal pattern, portions, and have access to records. Household contact. Household contacts can be made by a sponsor agency staff to a parent/legal guardian of a child enrolled in the daycare to verify attendance and enrollment of a child. Sponsoring organization will contact the household when one or more of the followings are noted: meal counts are inconsistent with attendance records, prior 5-day meal counts are higher than the attendance on the day of monitoring visit, a large evening or holiday meal and snack are claimed for reimbursement, meals served and claimed do not correspond to the information on the enrollment. Planned menus. KFAM is encouraging all providers to have a weekly/monthly planned menu. This can be done by using the KidCare Meals Schedule menu, enter the menu weekly, save, print and post, or create your own weekly/monthly planned menu. Food safety. Always wash hands and wear gloves before serving. Place all food items 6 inches above the floor. Store open cereals inside a container with lid. Keep refrigerator at or under 40 degrees. Common errors made are: pending child, mail in all enrollment forms as soon as they are signed. Child exceeds 2 meals and 1 snack or 2 snacks and 1 meal. Child file indicates the child doesn't normally attend day of week / or given meal. Please let me know if the child's schedule needs to be updated. Do not go over capacity for preschoolers or infants. School-aged child served a meal when should have been in school *. Remember to add no school on KidCare calendar for school-aged children present in the daycare during vacation and holidays. Please remember the date on the enrollment form must be the same as the date of enrollment on KidCare. All complaints should be brought to KFAM CCFP manager, staff, or executive director, preferably in writing and ASAP. Complaints can also be brought directly to EEOC or Department of Fair Employment and Housing, and Justice for all posts available in the office. KFAM's Civil Rights Officer is the executive director. KFAM will immediately conduct an investigation. Any findings will result in immediate remedial action and responsible employees may be subject to disciplinary action. KFAM will not retaliate against anyone who files a complaint, regardless of the findings. Civil rights. Discrimination based on race, ethnicity, ancestry and color, religion, sex, sexual orientation and gender identity, national origin, age, marital status and domestic partner status, or disability is prohibited. KFAM's Civil Rights Officer is Catherine Yom. Refer to CCFP 35 Civil Rights Complaint Procedures, which will be inside the folder you will be receiving. Attached are some helpful resources. To obtain your 2023 annual training certificate, follow the link to take the quiz. English, https://www.surveymonkey.com/r/vrm2jsc. Korean, https://www.surveymonkey.com/r/vxj3cmh. Spanish, https://es.surveymonkey.com/r/vm6ctcq. All providers that have taken the quiz and pass, a certificate and workshop folder will be mailed to the provider's home. All providers will have 3 attempts to pass. Providers that fail to take the quiz will need to come to the Korean American Family Services Office for training.